My name is Jim Vickaryous, and I want you to be a kind lawyer. My grandmother used to tell me, kill him with kindness, Jimmy. As a child, my grandmother's advice often went in one ear and out the other, but this advice stuck with me. Being kind is also the best advice for lawyers. Kindness extended by a lawyer is often a surprise to a non-lawyer. They think of us as professional killjoys. As a veteran lawyer, seeing lawyers exchange even the smallest of kind acts greatly encourages me. The kindness I most appreciate is the kindness shown that will not necessarily gain the giver anything. In recent years, I had the great honor to be admitted into the bar of the United States Supreme Court. One of the great perks of being a new member is getting a front row seat to that day's oral arguments. The case being argued that day had to do with the Veterans Administration giving due process to a particular veteran. I was seated immediately behind the young lawyer representing the veteran. As we waited for the Supreme Court justices to come in, I watched the wide-eyed lawyer reading through his materials. Hidden just below the counsel table was his trembling hand. He had a terrified look on his face. Perhaps I would be trembling too if I was about to argue before the 9 justices of the United States Supreme Court and your opposing party was the United States of America. A moment later, the United States Solicitor General and his team of lawyers walked into the courtroom. The Solicitor General looked a picture of confidence. He was trim, smiling, wearing a morning coat, which is the traditional uniform of the Solicitor General. Many people were shaking his hand as he walked into the courtroom. He came across as a rock star of the legal world. After arranging his briefing notes at his counsel table, the Solicitor General walked the 5 steps past the podium and greeted the nervous young lawyer. The Solicitor General shook his hand, welcomed him to the court, and wished him well. The Solicitor General showed kindness and respect to the young lawyer in a manner that made him feel welcome. The young lawyer sat down again to wait for the moment that the Supreme Court would be called into session and he'd be invited to begin arguing for his client. I looked at his hand as the justices filed in. It had stopped shaking. He looked confident. He did a great job advocating for his client. Based upon the commentary in the courtroom after the arguments had finished, he had clearly won over the audience and perhaps maybe even 5 justices to his client's prayer. The Solicitor General's small act of kindness calmed his opposing counsel in his moment of anxiety. After arguments were over, the court went into recess. Since I was in the front row, I stayed for a few moments just to take in the atmosphere of the courtroom. I looked up and watched Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg slowly moving out of her chair, taking her first step down the staircase. She started to fall. A robed arm reached up gracefully to steady her. The robed arm quickly and gentlemanly helped her down the steps. I looked over and saw that the kind robed arm belonged to Justice Clarence Thomas. You don't have to go to the United States Supreme Court to see everyday acts of lawyers being kind. I've observed it taking place often among lawyers across Florida. There's a big upside to being kind. The mantra of kill them with kindness helps greatly when you have the urge to tell somebody what you really think in a moment of irritation. Being kind is fundamental to civility. In fact, the oath of admission for the Florida bar makes it a requirement of every lawyer, quote, to opposing parties in their counsel. I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility, not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. Be purposeful in representing your clients, but always be a kind lawyer. Thank you for listening today.